We're on the SmackDown before Saturday night's main event, and we kick off the show with some wrestling.
Shh! It's Chelsea Green!
It's time for the first semi-finals match in the tournament to crown the inaugural Women's United States champion. And surprisingly, Chelsea is being cheered. Everyone loves her, which is quite the opposite reaction to her opponent.
Role model.
Bayley is being booed like there's no tomorrow. Everyone wants Chelsea, but Bayley tries to not let the volatile crowd get to her. She's solely focused on the mission to become champion. But before the bell rings, Bianca Belair grabs Piper Niven and they end up rolling to the back. It's gonna be a fair one-on-one match. Although as soon as the match begins, Chelsea tries to roll up Bayley. 1, 2, no. Bayley almost lost just like that, and that makes her furious, as after countering a strike, she starts to beat the hell out of Chelsea in the corner. It's so bad that she almost causes a disqualification through the rule of the 5 count when touching ropes. But as soon as she breaks the count, Chelsea counters a kick and tries another roll-up, although once again, Bayley kicks out. And once both women get to their feet, Bayley tries to go for a rose plant to end the match early, but Chelsea counters, then spins her around before attempting an unprettier, which gets countered as well, before Bayley manages to send Chelsea out of the ring. And the role model wants to dive onto Chelsea, but the conniving heel manages to get out of harm's way. However, Bayley attempts to give chase, but Chelsea gets back into the ring. It's a very smart move by Green, as from there, she manages to take advantage with her taking down Bayley before stomping the life out of her. And once Chelsea is finished with the beatdown, she continues wearing down Bayley with big moves, although all it takes is one counter as Bayley reverses and then nails a Bayley to belly. Is Chelsea out? 1, 2, no. She's on her last legs, but she fights on regardless. So Bayley goes to the top rope, but as she's looking for an elbow, there's Candice LeRae, but she takes down the Women's Speed Champion, although that's all the time Chelsea needed with the distraction as she connects with the unprettier. It's not a clean win, but it's a victory nonetheless. Chelsea Green is heading to Saturday night's main event, but who will join her? Well, later on in the night, it's time for the other semi-finals match between Mishin and Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton. And both women are strong out the gate. They're giving it everything they have in an attempt to go to SNME, but Mishin manages to get the upper hand early into the match with a series of strikes, which allows for her to put Tiffany onto the ropes, literally in this instance. And from there, Mishin nails shots to the back to try weaken her opponent, and after 3 stiff elbows, Mia Yim hits a fantastical combination ending with a picture-perfect Pele kick. She's in control, but as she grabs Tiffany to deal further damage, Tiffany counters as she takes Mishin down by the arm before obliterating her with an equally stiff shot. Then to put insult to injury, she pushes Yim's skull into the canvas. Is this Tiffy's time? While she grabs Mishin, although with a few well-timed elbows, she gets out of whatever Tiffany was planning before nailing her with a spinning heel kick. Tiffany's done, or so you'd think, as she manages to backflip out of an attempted suplex before nailing strikes, although with Mishin countering, she gets her own back and then some with her taking down Stratton once again. And from here, Mishin starts to work on Tiffany's legs. It's a genius strategy by Mishin, as with enough damage done, Tiffy can't do the prettiest moonsault ever. And with a submission hold, this thought could come to reality, although Tiffany gets out of harm's way, and after trying to shoulder tackle her, Mishin fights back with a series of kicks to the legs before connecting a tilt-a-whirl DDT as she goes into the cover. 1, 2, no! Tiffy survives, but for how much longer? As Mishin kicks out the knee before hitting a code breaker variation with her going into the cover again. 1, 2, no! Once again, Tiffy gets out of it, but Mishin stays on the offensive, although Tiffy gets a big second wind as she counters, spins her around before planting her down in a perfect position for the prettiest moonsault ever. But the damage may be too much, as although she does manage to make the leap, she was too slow, and that allows Mishin to connect and eat defeat. She advances to the finals, but can she get a hold of the Women's United States title? Well, we're at Saturday night's main event, and we're on to the third match of the show, and it's time to crown the inaugural Women's United States Champion. Who will win? Will it be Mishin, or will it be Chelsea Green? Well, everyone is 50-50, no one knows who will win, but regardless, with everyone barred from ringside, the match is underway, and it surprisingly starts out very technical, although Mishin proves to be too much for Chelsea to handle, as she manhandles her in this department. Green may already tap, but of course she manages to find her way out of it, and then she gets out of the ring. She wants to do the same trick she pulled on Bayley 24 hours prior, but it's not working, and that becomes more factual as Mishin dives onto her, and from here she lays into her wherever she goes. But as she goes to assault Chelsea, she moves out of harm's way and connects an enziguri. Then Chelsea tries to win by a count out, but of course this doesn't work, as Mishin even hangs Chelsea onto the ropes for her actions. Then she proceeds to kick Chelsea till she's going to draw blood from her mouth. Then after this brutal display, Mishin connects a back suplex, which almost drops Chelsea directly onto her head. Mishin isn't playing around, and this can be seen with a devastating powerbomb connected by Mishin, who goes into the cover. 1, 2, no! Chelsea survives, and out of pure desperation, she clings onto the ropes for dear life, and that gives her an opportunity as she nails a cheap strike onto Mishin, along with a vicious elbow and an enziguri combination. But that's not enough. However, now Chelsea is in control as she plants Mishin onto her knee with no protection in sight, along with an elbow. But again, that's not enough. So Green looks for her own powerbomb, although Mishin counters with a few critical strikes, then she runs to connect to Hurricanrana. Mishin's back into the fight, but Green fights back with a cheap knee, then out of pure ego, she slaps Mishin in the face and taunts at her, although she gets caught with a vicious combination for her troubles. And out of pure anger, Mishin throws her into the corner, knocks her down, before nailing a beautiful cannonball. Green is in trouble, and this is solidified further with a protect your neck, with Mishin thinking that's it. 1, 2, no! Chelsea proves everyone wrong with her endurance, then she begs for a timeout, and with Mishin playing to the crowd, Chelsea takes advantage of another enziguri, but then she pulls out one hell of a move. But the Canadian Destroyer doesn't destroy Mishin, so she looks for a German suplex, but Mishin counters into a roll-up. 1, 2, no! Chelsea counters into her own roll-up. 1, 2, no! Both women stay alive, although as Green charges at her, Mishin responds with a flapjack and her own German suplex, which actually connects. And to follow suit, she hits the 8 defeat. Chelsea is surely done. 1, 2, no! Green lives. Then Mishin goes over to her, but Green out of sheer desperation rolls her up. 1, 2, 3! Chelsea has won! She has stolen the victory and the championship from Mishin! And although she can celebrate her victory, she knows her journey as champion has only just begun.